So I'll talk a little bit about the next set of explorations that we're going to do. So we're going to work a little bit on quality of motion. So essentially at the two ends of the spectrum, there's like percussive movement and the sustained movement. And there's a lot of different ways of exploring them, and they kind of can meet in the middle. But we're going to try and go to the two opposite ends of the spectrum and explore those two things. So we could start either end. What's everyone in the mood for? We've been pretty kind of fluid, so we could stay there and go into sustained movement. Or if you want to start, if you're ready for something completely different, we can go into percussive.
Something different.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Let's start that end of the spectrum. So let's go ahead and move the blankets off to the side. So, I think I want to wait for this.
Yeah, baby, just real fast.
Okay. Liz is still in. Okay. We're gonna start doing some percussive movement.
I've been thinking about, like, as we've been going through this, like how to apply all of this
Right.
to vocalization.
We're actually going to do a little bit of vocalization later too. So, yeah. But, yeah. Okay, so let's wait. Oh, let's go and start. Oh, here she is. That was quick. All right, so we're going to approach this just initially as a response to sound. So the idea of percussive is very, I mean, literally, it's just like a strike. So it lasts, you know, for just that split second of time that that strike is happening. So what I want to do is just introduce that in a kind of like little sound and response game. So every time I clap my hands, you're just going to make one moment just in that brief second of time, and it can be small. It could start. Let's start with just really small movements. So it could just be, you know, one little part of your body, but it's just in that one split second of time. So you're ready. So it's like doing a kid's crazy movement class. So now start to think about ways to use the whole body sometimes. So we can go to like the extremes of trying to use the whole body within that split second of time and just isolating one tiny little body part, like really small, just a finger, just a toe, or like the whole body, you know, whatever. It's just like from one extreme to the other. So each time now, do an extreme. Either the whole body or one tiny, tiny little body part. Cool, nice. Okay, shake it out, relax. This could be quite tension building in the body, so it's good to just keep shaking out in between. You can use a vibration exercise. So what I'd like to do with this one is actually have like a stream of motion coming across the floor. So I'm going to put some music on that has like lots of like little quirky rhythms. It's actually a friend of mine, Lucas Ligeti. I don't know if anyone knows that. His father is a very famous composer. Yeah, Ligeti. Giorgi Ligeti. Yeah. But yeah, Lucas is a percussionist, and I've worked with him a little bit, and he has a lot of really fancy rhythms. So what I like to do is like just come across the floor from here, just like all the way to the front, and just as you work your way down, maybe have 2 people at a time, and you can actually kind of like riff off each other a little bit, so that you're just moving, and you can pick out beats in the rhythm of the music that you want to respond to, because there's a lot of them happening at once. So you can just pick out different ones that you want to move to and kind of riff off of your partner in a kind of beat duel on the way.
Okay.
So it's kind of quite cool. Have you probably need a number of people?
We're even.
You are?
So we just keep 4 people over there and 4 people over here and.
Yeah.
Oh, are we all going at once?
Sure, we're going to do the time.
There's 3 over there.
And then,
Oh, there's 4 and 4.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So then once you get here, go around and
Come back again.
come back again. So let me just find the right track for everyone you guys.
I'm gonna let you go first and then we'll go and then we just.
Get on that side.
Ready? Okay, go. each other, and it kind of sparks everybody off to even pop it out more. So what I want to do this time is have just 2 groups of 4. So there's even more like dynamic energy going on with a whole group working their way across. And really think now about the idea of exactly what percussive is. Try and be really purist about it now. So that there's no sustained motion in there at all. Because it's easy to kind of do a little bit of filler stuff in between. So really try and just be like really strict with yourself about just making yourself only do that percussive thing. And if you have to freeze and stop and think for the next thing, that's fine. But just really work with that pure notion of percussive. So as you go through. So yeah, 4 people at a time and just see. And you know, it's like, and some other things happen in between, it doesn't matter that much, but you're just really going for that idea and playing off of each other as a group dynamic.
So you say percussive or?
Percussive, yeah.
That's the color.
So that it really is totally percussive, just that split second of motion.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a jump. There's no transition between movements. It's a jump from one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So as soon as you do something, like it might initiate percussively, but it's sustained. Like, you know, if you do something like it started percussively, but then it became kind of sustained afterwards. So that's the percussive part. And if you could do that and turn at the same time in split second, then yes, but not, you know, then it becomes sustained. So it's like you're really trying to find that, just that one little punch. Okay. Four. moving, or it can be a flowing like water. As long as there's no stopping, no starting, no beginning, no end, it's smooth, it's consistent, it's sustained. So just play with that idea however you want to. You really play with the tempo. Keeping the motion sustained. What degree can you go to before you're actually of slowness, before you're actually stopping? And then how much can you speed up without the motion getting too frenetic and turning into just another quality? And think of it like water. Like maybe it's free, it's like temperature. The slower you go, it's like freezing. And then as you get faster with the tempo, it's like the water's heating up and boiling, but it stays smooth and sustained. Start to think about other substances. We're thinking about water, but maybe start to think also about other liquids that affect the texture of your sustained motion. It could be that you're like molasses. Like an olive oil. Think of different kinds of qualities of sustained, like a liquid, that can affect the quality of that motion. Whatever shape you've arrived at just now, just hold that shape in stillness, but feel like there's some kind of energy still circulating through the shape. So it's not like a frozen block, but it's something that's still sustaining motion in its stillness. And then from here, just take a deep breath and just come up to standing. Breathe. Relax. start to become aware of the shape of your body, your form in space. Become aware of that form as like a living sculpture with a presence and an energy. And internally see the form of your shape in space. Just feel the shape of your skin against the air, against your clothes. Feel the shape of your face, of the back of the head. Feel the shape of your neck, around the shoulders. Feel the shape of your arms and your hands. Feel the shape of your chest and your upper back, your shoulder blades. Feel the shape of your rib cage, frontal and all the way around to the back. Feel the shape of your sides as a living presence. Feel the curve of your back, the pelvis. Feel the shape of your thighs going down to the knees, and in the back, the glutes running down the back of the thighs into the back of the knees. Feel the shape of the curve of the knees. Feel the shape of your lower legs, your calf muscles, your straight shin bone, and the shape of your feet, your toes. And then be aware of the whole form of your body. And be aware of this form as a living object of art before you have even done anything with it. Just it alone, this shape, this presence in space is enough. Everything else you do is extra. And just breathe into the shape. Feel its presence expanding. And take any part of this form, this body shape, and take it somewhere else in space and hold it there. It could be just an arm moving, a leg moving. It could be the curve of the torso. It could be a shift of the head. Just take one part and then hold it. And be aware of how it's changed that shape in space. Be aware of how it's changed the negative space around it. And then take another part. And just go through different body parts, rearranging this form, recreating its sculpture, and recreating the negative space around it. Shaping and sculpting your presence and the shape of the air. Start to do this very consciously using rounded shapes. And you can also think about different levels. They can be high, they can be medium, they can be all the way down, low. now turn those forms into very straight, angular forms. Whole body becomes a series of lines, angles, straightness. Reshaping the form, reshaping the air, cutting through the air. Now start to change those forms of the body into twisted forms, serpentine, knots and twists. Let those forms have their moment as a sculpture. When you found something that feels satisfying, just give it a presence and a stillness in space. Give it a life, a temporary life. And then start to go from one to the other, around, straight and angular, twisted and coiling, finding shapes and giving them a stillness and a presence of your body in the space. And if you want to, you can start finding other people along your path of motion that you can make shapes with. You can combine either contrasting or similar. Forming together to make a sculpture. Finding moments of stillness and shape and sculpture. happening anyway, which is beautiful, but go ahead and be aware of every presence in the room, every shape in the room, and find ways of interacting as one complete unit. You're already going towards that anyway, so let's go ahead and really consciously sculpt that whole picture. As the music fades, whatever shape and form you have taken all together, just hold that and breathe some life into that form. Nice, beautiful. Okay, and you can melt out of it. Nice. So that music was by an ex-boyfriend of mine. He's a Japanese percussionist, Tatsuya Nakatani. So yeah.
That's really like
Tatsuya
Nakatani musical.
Yeah, and he made that piece for me to use for this kind of work, and he just did gong, he bowed a gong for 1 hour. And just all the different sounds that evolved out of bowing a gong for that long. And it's amazing the different timbres and shapes and swells that come out of that sound. It's pretty amazing. So what I'd like to do now is just spend a few minutes actually doing some sound work. And then we'll take a little break, and then we'll go on to something completely different. No, something completely different. As they say in Monty Python. But let's go ahead and grab something to sit on. Let's start sitting. I just want to start with the sounds of the breath. Just go ahead and sit up and give your lungs lots of capacity, lots of space. And go ahead and take a deep breath in and lift the arms all the way up. So you're really expanding the lungs. And we're going to take a big exhale on a shh sound. And try and make that breath last as long as possible, and you're going to lower your arms at the same time. So big breath in. Got any air left, put your hands together and squeeze it out. Good, okay. So let's do another one, and this time we're going to do a sound like a snake. And find a spot on the floor that you're going to hiss at, and really direct it at that one spot, almost as if it's going to burn a hole in it. So it's very, streamlined energy. It's coming out. Inhale. And people with some good lung capacity in this group. Cool. Okay, so just blow through your lips. Kind of have a little tune with it. Go. I used to have a voice teacher that would get us to do the cat count. Shake your head like your cheeks really relax and just go. It's always amusing. Why is it funny? Okay, so take a breath, have your hands right under your rib cage. So you're giving little presses on your diaphragm, and every time you give a press, just let the air come out in a shot blast. We're going to do a series of them. So take a deep breath in, and then do a series of exhalations.
Where? Now.
Go. So basically, you're kind of an open channel with a sound, but then when you squeeze, it automatically just forces the air out. So breathe. Okay, so let's, I like to use kind of some of the emotion, like concepts and ideas for the voice too. So the idea of spiraling around really helps you get up and down the vocal range. If you kind of start somewhere in the middle, let's start middle and then spiral our way upwards. So kind of start with kind of spiral up and up and up. So let's just do a little bit of it's actually kind to the voice. It's a kind way of finding where your vocal range is. And you can kind of spiral your body a little bit too if you want to. So let's try going downwards this time. So starting in the middle and spiraling.
Start in the middle?
In the middle and spiral down.
Not go down.
So now just like all together at once we can go up and down and everywhere and see, you know, just as a group it's going to go kind of all over the place. It's like spring spiraling, popping out of a mattress. You know. But kind of just feel free to just go up and down using that spiraling motion and just sort of having fun with it and seeing kind of where your voice goes with it. So. quality, there's a whole series of plosives in the mouth. So it really is literally, it sounds like the word explosion, and it comes from the same word. So it literally has like a little explosion in the mouth. So I like to kind of imagine that like I'm a champagne bubble, and there's a cork in my mouth. And I kind of like the breath is like the bubbles, and as soon as you release the cork, it just pops out. So there's several different ones in different parts of the mouth. So we'll start with the lips. So pressing the lips together, and then let the kind of air explode out with the voice behind it. So you get like a ba, 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 ba. So you can even shake up your champagne bottle if you want. Come out even close. And then the other one is the sound, which doesn't have the voice behind it. So that's just the air exploding there for the sound. So the next set come from the tongue behind the teeth. So that's the next kind of explosive point. So with the voice behind it, it comes out as a da, 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 da. So fill your champagne bottle. Da, 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 and then the lighter version of that is the and then the last set is in the back of the mouth with the back of the tongue pressing against the roof of the mouth. So that's your cork there. And it is a sound. But with the voice, the heavy one is a g sound. So the g, 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 and then the light version is the so then we can do a little riff, what I call a plosive rap, where you just kind of play with all those different explosive, plosive sounds, percussive sounds in the mouth, and just create like a little rhythm with it. So let's just try it. Okay, so another thing that is really fun to do is just to find all the sounds that happen in different parts of the resonators in the mouth and the head. So let's think first of all about all the sounds that can come from the front of the mouth and just really play with those. So anything that comes out of the front. And coming to the middle of the mouth and see what you can find there. And now just find other body parts that you can make sound with. What happens? Experiment with. And use the voice as a judgment. How it makes a different sound in this one. Could even get into this part here. See what sound that body makes. So go ahead and hang upside down and just hum into your resonators so you can really feel the buzzing right in the resonators. Just find an easy pitch and feel that vibration. You can kind of shake your head a little bit. Feel the vibration in the resonators in the nose, then start to roll up. Roll all the way up to standing. Keep humming, take a breath whenever you need to. I like the harmony we've got now, it's really nice. And just shake the arms in front of you. And then open this out into an R sound. Powerful when you get all those voices just resonating out, and that motion just liberates the body to let the sound ring out. So it's like it's really using vibration, not only the vibration of the sound, but the vibration of the body on top of that to release sound. So let's just take a break for a couple of minutes.